Hi everybody, I'm Claire and this is my vlog, Loves Red Sews. So welcome back if you're an existing subscriber and welcome if you are new. So today is my weekly Sunday sews catch up and I've got a little bit to catch you up on today. So I've got a little bit of talk about what I have been making this week. I also took a trip into Birmingham yesterday, so I'm going to be talking about that, showing you my little fabric haul from that trip. And yeah, I've got a few bits and pieces to show you, so I hope you enjoy today's vlog. So before I get started, I will just share what I'm wearing. So I have put on this t-shirt today, which is a this is an Astair Tee by French Navy. It's got these little slits here in the side. I made this a little while ago in this cotton jersey with whippets all over it, and obviously I've got a whippet, as you know. Ralphie is just come here to say hello, and I've put it on today because it's Ralph's birthday today. So Ralphie is 5 years old today. We've had a little exciting morning, opening presents and things like that, so I will pop a couple of pictures in so that you can see. He's quite tired now, and we're also going to be popping out later this afternoon, so hopefully he will get a little bit of rest between now and then, because I think with all the excitement he's been quite he got quite excitable, so I think he's quite tired now, so hopefully he'll get a little bit of rest. So yeah, that's what I am wearing today. And this weekend I basically took a couple of days off work. So I took Friday off work and I've also got Monday off work, and that's because I just wanted to make it a nice long weekend, because we've got Ralph's birthday and also my husband's birthday is tomorrow. So we've just got some sort of nice chilled things planned. We're going out for lunch and stuff tomorrow, so nothing too major, but just kind of nice sort of chilled time. But I thought I would just take the couple of days off either side of the weekend, just to make it sort of a nice long weekend. So before I tell you about what I got up to yesterday, I will just share what I've been sewing this week. So as you know, I have been making the ME2016, and that is this pattern. It's quite a well-known popular pattern in the sewing community. I have made it before, this version, and I really wanted to make another one. So it's I've shared this before, but it's got this kind of detail here where the you've got kind of gathers on the bottom part of the skirt. So I was making it in the Bowden deadstock fabric, and this is it so far. So I haven't quite finished the sleeves. If I try and stand back, Ralph is just laying down by my chair. I'll try and stand back to show you. So the skirt is now attached. It's quite a full skirt. It's got these nice kind of pockets, and then this is the bodice. I actually put a little bit of so I've lined the bodice. Let me just show you that inside. So I've kind of lined. What I did is I cut the lining pieces and the bodice pieces, and then I stitched them together and sort of treated it as one piece of fabric. And I've not lined the skirt, but I've just done that with the bodice. And then I put in just a little bit of bias that I found in my stash, which I thought kind of went quite well. This kind of floral, and then a little matchy label, which I think matches in quite well with the colours on the dress. So just going to zip it back up. So it's got an invisible zip on the back, and I just picked out this blue colour, which I think goes quite well. Can't see any of my zip. Pattern matching kind of went a little bit awry because I didn't have enough fabric, so I made sure I cut the front bodice out how I wanted it to look, and then didn't bother pattern matching anything else. And I kind of thought with the busyness of the dress. I'm a little bit undecided on the sleeves at the moment. A couple of people have said the sleeves might be a little bit too much on me. So yeah, I'm slightly undecided, but I think what I'm going to do is finish the dress first. Oh, sorry, Ralphie. What I'm going to do is finish the dress first, and then decide whether I want to do anything with those sleeves. So it has got like a puff, like a sleeve puff in the top of them, but I put that in wrong and I've ended up putting it on the bodice side rather than the sleeve side. I thought I was doing it right, I've never done it before, and when I finished it all, overlocked it all, turned it all through, and then I was like, oh, I've put the puff on the wrong side. So it's kind of sitting here rather than on the actual sleeve. So I may take that back out. But I will pop in a picture of the dress on me so far. The sleeves kind of gather into an elasticated bit, so it will, bear with me a sec. Sorry about that, I just had to settle Ralph under his blanket. He's obviously a bit tired. And then I had a sneeze, so it might be a bit hay fever. So yeah, the sleeves will gather into elastic cuffs, so they won't be sort of as big kind of down here, but I'm just not sure with the fabric. The fabric's obviously quite out there. To be honest, I am a little bit unsure of it on me. I really wanted to love it, and I kind of half do and half don't, but I don't know if it's just a little bit too kitsch for me. So I think it's definitely going to be like a special occasion dress. I don't know if I would wear it sort of day to day, but I'm going to reserve judgment until it's finished and then see how it looks once I've styled it properly and you know, got it all properly finished. But yeah, I'm not sure if the sleeves are just a bit too poofy for the kind of fabric, whether it's just a little bit too much for me. If I haven't already, I will pop a picture in and show you what it looks like so far. But I've got none of the fabric left, so I do really need to think, if I do change the sleeves, I need to kind of like maybe try and recut them maybe with a slightly less puff. So whether I use the same sleeve piece but just remove some of the width from it so they're not quite as big and puffy, I'm a bit undecided at the moment. So if you have any thoughts on that, let me know in the comments below what you think I should do. So yeah, that is what I've been working on, and then I have also been working on a tunic dress this week for Sarah from my handmade wardrobe, and this is for the weekend sewing club, so I shall just grab that. So Sarah asked me if I could make up a sample of the this month's pattern. So it's called the tie side dress and top and dress, I think. So it's the tie side top and dress. So it comes as a top version, a dress, like a tunic length version sort of to the knee, or a full length version, sort of maxi length. So she asked me if I could sew up the tunic version and the round neck, because I think a couple of the other vloggers had done like v-neck. Somebody had done a long dress and somebody else had done a top, so she asked me if I could do the tunic. So I did it in this fabric here. I bought this fabric from the Stitch Festival, I think, last year, or is it earlier this year, and it was from the Lady McElroy stand, and I think there was almost 4 meters of this. I didn't need all 4 meters, so I've got quite a lot left. It's a kind of viscose jersey, and I originally bought it with a kind of a, you know, a work appropriate sort of dress in mind, but I thought this would be quite good for the tunic, and possibly it would be sort of work appropriate for that. So it's a very simple kind of, I mean, it looks quite sort of rectangle, and it's just got very simple sort of top. These are the sleeves, and you basically just turn back the hem on the sleeve, and it's just got a round neck, a nice big facing. So I've put this little handmade label. I haven't even overlocked the edge of the facing, which is really bad, but I kind of thought, do you know what, it's not going to fray, it probably doesn't need it. I did do stitch in the ditch on the shoulder seams just to keep the facing down when I'm wearing it, and then this goes to just above my knee. The bottom is all hemmed and everything. Use Mariflex thread on the whole of this, and then I also overlocked the seams. And then you attach these ties on the front and also on the back of the dress. So there is sort of points where you're meant to put them on. So they're just kind of sewn onto the outside of the dress, and then the idea is that you pull these ties in on the sides, each side, and it kind of pulls in, and that's what gives you the shape. So I will pop a picture in here of me wearing the dress or the tunic so that you can see what it looks like. I've just paired it with a pair of ready-to-wear leggings, which I thought went quite well with. But yeah, I'm actually quite pleased with that. I think it looks quite nice, and with the way that the ties pull it in, I think it's quite flattering. So that is also what I've been making this week. So other than that, I've not done any other sort of sewing. And as I mentioned, I was off yesterday, which was Friday, so I'm recording this on Saturday. I was off work yesterday, and I actually took a trip into Birmingham. So what happened was, Alison, who is So Like Dotty, she has like a sewing virtual, and she arranged a meetup at the it's the Festival of Quilts this weekend at the NEC in Birmingham. I would have loved to have gone, but I just couldn't make it work, unfortunately, because of all the birthdays and stuff. But she arranged a meetup with a lot of her sort of virtual sewists, and I think they all went to the Festival of Quilts on Thursday, and then I think a few of them were kind of staying in the area for a couple of days. So she then arranged a meet up in Birmingham yesterday, and this was to go to the Rag Market, to Barry's and Guthrie and Garney, and I saw that she had arranged it, so I contacted her and said, could I also join the meetup, because I obviously don't live too far from Birmingham, and I had the day off, and yesterday was kind of like a free day really for me. It didn't have any particular birthday sort of plans, so it kind of made sense to do that. So that's what I did yesterday. So I kind of headed into Birmingham. I caught a train, I think it was about 10:30 or 10:15, something like that. So I had a fringe trim in the morning, went off to do that, and then I jumped on the train, got there and headed straight for the market, and I met up with the ladies there. Unfortunately, Alison was a little bit unwell yesterday, and she ended up not making it to the Rag Market, which was a real shame. I would have loved to have seen Alison again. I have met her before, and yeah, it was just such a shame that it kind of happened that way. And I didn't actually get to catch up with Alison in the end. But the ladies that did go were all really lovely, and I will pop in a picture of us all here. So one of the stall holders at the Rag Market took a lovely photo of us all. So I will, I'll just let you know who was there, sort of from left to right in the photo. We have Denise, then myself, Helen, Catherine, her daughter Freddie, Joe and Sue, who I both know. I've met both of those before and know them fairly well. And then we have Suzanne and Erica. So it was a really lovely day. I had such fun with those ladies. They were all really lovely, and it was just really chilled, kind of walking around the market. You know, we were all kind of like motivating each other, and yeah, there was a few sort of there was a few fabric purchases, shall we say, and when a few people were buying fabrics, the rest of us were kind of like just kind of hanging around, and we were just looking at fabrics. We were seeing what other people had bought, and it was just a really lovely day, to be honest. So we started off at the Rag Market. I didn't take an awful lot of pictures, so I will kind of pop in a few little pictures that I took. I took some fabrics hanging up in the Rag Market. I don't think I took any at Barry's, unfortunately. So after the Rag Market, we went and grabbed some lunch, and sat and had that. And then we headed over to Barry's and had a little wander in there. So Barry's, as you may or may not be aware, it's a bit of a sort of a sewist's institution, I guess, in Birmingham. And unfortunately, they are closing down because that whole area is being regenerated. So I think they're closing sometime in September, maybe towards the end of September. And everything in there is now 50% off. So there are some good bargains to be had. There's quite a lot of kind of, I would say, poly-based fabric in there, which is not something that I would normally purchase. So there was a lot of things I saw that I thought, I like that, but then when I realised it was poly-based, I didn't want to buy it. So I did make a few purchases in there, and I did find a couple of little gems. So I'm going to share all of my purchases with you shortly. And then once we finished in Barry's, the ladies then all headed off to Guthrie and Garney, and I headed home. I didn't really want to make the trip over to Guthrie Garney. I was already starting to feel a bit tired. It's quite a lot of walking, and so I headed home and left them to it, and they drove off to Guthrie Garney, which is it's kind of like a short drive away. It's away from the city centre, but I would have had to get a bus back to the city centre to then jump on the train home, and I would have been home a lot later than I was. So I think I got home about 4ish. So it was a relatively long day, but it was just so nice, and yeah, I really enjoyed my day. So thank you very much, ladies, for the company yesterday, and it was really lovely to meet you all and spend a lovely day with you all, stroking fabrics and making some purchases. So yeah, it was really lovely. So I'm going to share with you what I purchased yesterday, and let you know sort of how many meters of each fabric I bought, and also how much I paid for it. So first of all, when we arrived in the market, the first fabric I saw was this, actually, and I couldn't really resist this because of the colour. So it's this fabric here. So it's this lovely kind of dark teal colour, and it's got this nice kind of rust orange colour, and then it's just got this cream, black and kind of pinky colours in it. And it's a really lovely sort of weight viscose, and this was £2.50 a metre. So I got 3 meters of this because I thought that would make quite a nice sort of dress. So yeah, I picked up that one, £2.50 a metre, and it's really nice quality, so I was quite happy with that one. And then at the same stall, I also found this one, which is another viscose, and obviously black and white with some grey in it, and it's got a little nods to kind of animal print in it. I think these kind of little splodgy bits just remind me slightly of an animal print. And this one I think was maybe £2 a metre. So again, I got 3 meters of that one. So yeah, I haven't spent too much money so far. And then the only other one I got from the market, so Sue was buying this one, and I think there was like 4 meters available, and she just wanted 2 meters. So I ended up buying the other 2 meters of it. Now it's a little bit of a ditzy print for me. I don't normally go for sort of ditzy prints, and I did sort of and ah, but when this was held up, it was the colour that kind of did it for me. So I just bring it in a little bit closer so that you can see. So yeah, it is a kind of a ditzy print, but this one also was £2.50 a metre. So it cost me £5 for this piece, so you can't really go wrong with that, can you? And I just think that colour is really lovely, the nice kind of like turquoisey teal colour. And because we've made a purchase from that particular stall, I think one of the ladies asked the stall holder if because there was a few of us, if he would offer a discount. He wasn't able to offer us a discount, but he did give all of us a free gift instead. And actually it's really nice. I really quite like this. So it's this, and it's actually it's just a little lightweight scarf. And if I open it up and try and show you the print on it, if I got it the right way up. Oh no, so I think it's, oh, here you go, I'll turn it this way so you can see it properly. So it's just a lovely lightweight scarf, but it's got this sort of animal print and these tigers all over it, and this was a free gift. So it's just a little scarf that you tie around, but it's just my colours. So yeah, I was really pleased to get that for free. So that was really kind of him. And I did pick up my friend Lucy a piece of fabric as well, because she was after a kind of a green ditzy print fabric, and I managed to find something. I did send her a picture and she said that was perfect, so I picked up that for her as well from the same stall. And then when we went over to Barry's, we had a good mooch around in there. So they have now got 50% off everything. As I said, there was quite a lot of poly based fabrics, which was a little bit of a shame. I mean, I know some people are not bothered by that. I try to avoid poly based fabrics as much as I can. I do get kind of static electricity if I wear sort of poly based stuff, and I almost did succumb to a couple of things, and then I thought I just didn't want that kind of static, so I didn't buy them in the end. But the bits I did find, I was quite pleased with. So I found this, they had quite a bit of this left actually. So this is a viscose linen. You can see probably a little bit of the texture there. It's a really nice weight. It's fairly lightweight. It's not too heavy. But I ended up buying 4 meters of this just purely because it was half price, and I thought I could probably get a couple of things out of this. And I think this was, actually I've got my receipt here, so 4 meters, it was £5.95 a metre. That was the original price, and then obviously that was half price, so it was kind of round about roughly about £3 a metre. So for 4 meters, obviously I spent sort of £12 on that, so that I thought that was really reasonable, and yeah, a nice sort of simple fabric to put in my stash. And then I found this fabric, which is a cotton cotton voile. This is quite lightweight. I'm just trying to find maybe an end for you to show you. So yeah, it's fairly fine, and I think this would make a nice lightweight kind of blouse or something, but I quite liked like the tropical colours in this. And yeah, I think it's nice and bright and colourful, and goes quite well actually with the black viscose linen that I bought. So they were my initial 2 purchases from there. Oh, and the viscose linen, that was the cotton voile, that was originally £6.95 a metre. I bought 2 meters of this, and obviously it was half price, so what's that, about £3.50 a metre that ended up being. So for those 2 pieces of fabric, 4 meters of the black and then 2 meters of that, I spent £18 in total with the 50% off. And that was going to be my only purchases in there. And then a couple of the ladies, they had picked up some fabric, and a few of us saw it, and we ended up all buying. I think there was about 4 of us that bought this fabric, and we pretty much, I think we cleared the bolt, to be honest. I think Jo, was it Jo or one of the other ladies that took the last 2 meters. So I got 2 meters of this, and it is a Ponte Roma, and it's actually really lovely quality. So I'll just bring it a little bit closer to show you. And yeah, it feels really nice. It's got a little bit of stretch, I think not sort of that way, it's got a little bit of stretch, and I would really love to give the Walk Boldly pants a go, and I think that hopefully I've got enough to make those, and I do love that sort of dark burgundy colour, so that will be put away for kind of more autumn winter, and then I would really like to give those trousers a go with that. And that one, I think that might have been about £2.50 a metre once the discount had been added onto that. So I got 2 meters of that, so that was quite reasonable. So this, and then the last fabric I'm going to show you, I think came to about £8 something for the 2. So I thought that was really good as well. So yeah, quite reasonably priced. And then the last fabric, I saw this as I was having my other fabric cut, and it's this. So this is actually a kind of tapestry fabric. So just bring it a little bit closer so that you can see the sort of texture and stuff, but it was the colours that just kind of jumped out at me, and I just picked up 1 metre of this for a bag, so I think this ended up being about £2 or something, but I thought it might make a nice kind of bag of some sort, either a tote bag or kind of like a bag, I don't know, those kind of carpet bag type things. I don't know if 1 metre of this will be enough. It's quite wide, but I think it would definitely, some kind of bag would be nice in that. So that's what I picked up for that. And I just thought, for a couple of quid, that was really reasonable. So they are all of my fabric purchases. So I did actually buy seven fabrics. When I was in the rag market, I bought one of the haberdashery stores. I bought a few zips. So when I was making my dress, I realised I don't have that many invisible zips of the longer length, and then you can always kind of shorten them if they're not the right length, but if you kind of buy them at the longest length. So I just picked up kind of one each of all of these colours. So I've got red, white and blue, I've got a dark green, I've got a brown, and I've got a black. They were all £1.50 each, so £6 for six. Is it £6? Yeah. What, 3, 6? No, £9, I think. Yeah. Anyway, £1.50 each, and I thought that was quite reasonable. So they will just go into my stash. So I picked up those, and then two of the ladies brought along patterns. They had previously, we had a little WhatsApp group, and they had previously put them on there, and this one was offered up free. The lady, I think this came from Erica, and she didn't want anything for it, so I said, could I have that one, because I liked the look of this one. It's a nice simple kind of dress top, or like a sleeveless dress, and I think this just has like a little channel of elastic through the middle, and I thought that was a nice little dress. So she brought that along for me, and she didn't want anything for that, so I thought that was really kind of her. So thank you very much, Erica, that was really nice of you. And then Sue gave me a copy of this dress, which is the penny dress. Sue recommended this dress to me. She said a couple of the sort of petite sewists had previously made this and have not really needed to make any adjustments. So I think she picked up this version in a charity shop. She also has bought the pattern since, so she gave me her copy for nothing, and for me to sort of try. But it's kind of a little bit like a little shirt dress. So I thought at some point I will give that a go. I've got a never-ending list of projects that I want to make, but I thought that was really kind of her, so thank you very much, Sue. I really appreciated that as well. So that is everything that I bought yesterday, so I hope you have enjoyed seeing my haul. The other thing I just wanted to share with you that I haven't mentioned is I put some shoes and stuff on Vinted recently. So I had a little bit of a shoe clear out. I've got quite a few pairs of shoes, and there's a few pairs that I no longer wear, but they're in really good quality, really good condition, and sort of nice. I knew that I would probably get a little bit of money for them, so I kind of put them on Vinted, and I actually made a fair amount of money for them, and enough to purchase this. So I'm just gonna unhook it. So I bought myself the Aliso mini iron. So I did have a little prim iron, which is much smaller than this, and it was starting to not perform as well, and the base plate was really dirty, and I hadn't been able to clean it very well. And I just thought, as I had made a little bit of money on Vinted, I decided to treat myself to this iron. So it's actually quite a weighty iron for a mini iron. I have used it just once so far, and I was really impressed actually. So yes, I've only used this once so far, but I have sat it next to my sewing machine, and I think this is going to be really handy. What I love about this, it's got this kind of little silicone mat which just kind of slots onto the bottom of it, and it's got this hanging hook, and I've got some hooks here, so I've kind of been hanging it up, so it's kind of off of my desk when I'm not using it. And what I really like about it is it has an on-off switch, so when you're not using it, I mean, I have actually unplugged it, I didn't want to leave it plugged in, but you can turn it on and off, and then it has a proper like a little dial. It's got steam, it's got the sort of steam and water buttons on it, and when you iron, it also has a light on the front of it that lights up, so as you're ironing it lights up your projects and you can see really easily. But I'm really impressed with it so far. It's quite a weighty little iron for a mini iron, and I think this is going to become super useful. So I'm really pleased that I managed to make enough money to on my Vinted account to buy myself that. So yeah, I got this one from So Essential, so it was quite expensive. It was £85, so it's quite pricey for a mini iron, but I'm really pleased with it so far, and hopefully it lasts me a long time and I get a lot of use out of it. So this little mat comes off. This is the base, and then you can then turn that over and use that as the kind of resting mat for it when you're not using it. Or as I said, this just kind of clips onto it and then you can hang that up. So I just thought I would share that in case it was something that you were interested in, and you wanted to see what it looked like. So other than that, that is everything that I've got to share with you this week. So I am going to head off, and I might actually get a little bit of sewing done this afternoon. We are heading out a bit later this afternoon because there is, along the canal, there is a boat, a little canal boat called the Burrito Boat, and it has come to Rugby just for 4 days, and I hear that the food is really, really tasty. So they do kind of burritos, tacos, that sort of thing. They've got some gluten-free options, so there's some things that I can have. So I think they're on this afternoon between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. so we're going to head down there later and go and grab some food and yeah, do something a little bit different and make the most of the sort of dry weather today. So we're going to head down there later and have sort of an early dinner and go and enjoy tacos or burritos, whatever we fancy. So that's what we're going to do later, but I'm hoping that I'll get a little bit of sewing in before then. So I'm going to head off now and leave you to it. I hope you have enjoyed hearing about my day yesterday, and if you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe. It doesn't really cost you anything, but it just helps my little channel to get promoted a little bit more and for other people to kind of see it and get it out there for people to see. So if you haven't already subscribed, I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to give me a like if you have enjoyed this video, and any comments, feel free to comment below. I always love hearing from everybody. So yeah, other than that, I'm going to leave it here. I hope you have a good week and you get some good sewing in, and I shall catch up with you again soon. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.